But just
I heard you.
just to answer the actual thing, to explain why I think that the Rebbe could still be Mashiach. So first of all, as the Lubavitcher, like I'm saying, if the Rebbe told us that he's going to be Mashiach, and that's what I believe, and that this is the last generation of Godliness, and he's the leader of the generation, so I believe that he will be Mashiach. How it works out, I'll already figure it out. So it doesn't, like I'm saying, it doesn't bother me so much. I'm not concerned about the technical aspects of it. There's a famous story that the Rebbe spoke about with Arizal, that he asked his Talmidim, he said, let's go to Eretz Yisrael, let's go to Yerushalayim for Shabbos. And Talmidim said, oh, we have to ask our wives. And he was like, you guys just messed it up. We would have had, Mashiach would have came, but because you guys went to ask your wives, you messed, the moment is gone. It's too late. And the Rebbe asked, they're following Shulchan Aruch, they're doing the right thing. Of course, you have to ask your wife, like, what's even the Shaila? Talk to all the Shalom Bayis people. What's the problem? And he said, if you're a Talmud of the Arizal, and the Arizal tells you, the Arizal knows Shulchan Aruch very well, and if he's telling you, let's go to Yerushalayim for Shabbos, you're not going to bring, the Rebbe said, you're not going to bring Mashiach by looking at Shulchan Aruch. You have to know, use the fifth Shulchan Aruch. If your Rebbe tells you, let's do this, you do it. Stop being concerned with don't worry, he's got it taken care of. And it's the same thing here. It's going to work out. I believe that Rebbe will be Mashiach, and that's the story. Now, how it works out, I think, is not an issue. I don't want to get too much into details, but you can see our previous episodes. We have one that discussed it at length, called, I believe, Is the Rebbe Alive? But the Rebbe was asked this question about his father-in-law. He used the phrase about his father-in-law, he will redeem us. Now, whether you say that's referring to him being, leading his generation out of Godliness, we know every Rebbe will lead their people. They'll lead their chevra. Or he's saying that he's going to be actually Mashiach. But either way, somebody asked him, how could you say that he's going to be he's going to redeem us? He passed away. And the Rebbe responded. He said that for Tzadikim, before Mashiach comes, before the actual process unfolds, he's going to, all the Tzadikim are going to be alive before. There's going to be a special Tchias Mason. Before the Tchias Mason of all the Yidden that happens afterwards, there's going to be a special Tchias Mason before it starts for all the Tzadikim. So they should be alive to see it all happen.
Yeah, but doesn't Mashiach come before Tchias Mason? Even that one, maybe?
No, so the Rebbe was saying here that the Friedrich Rebbe, this is a pre-Mashiach. This happens, it's not part of the Gula process. This is the whole point, the Tzadikim should be there to see the whole process. So he'll be alive, and then he'll be able to redeem us. So then obviously begs the question, then it could be anybody, right? We're opening Pandora's box here. And that comes the belief that we still think that this is the last generation of Godliness, that we're still, we have not made an eighth Rebbe. Some people wonder, why is there no eighth Rebbe? And, why didn't he make a new Rebbe? Within Chabad, the question is, in our own echo chamber, it's very preposterous. It doesn't even start. The Rebbe made it so clear that this is the last generation, and there is not going to be another one. There's not going to be another Rebbe, that nobody's even really thinking about it. So we have our mission. We know the Rebbe told us he's going to be Mashiach, so he will be. That's why, because we're still in the seventh generation, that's why we still believe it'll be him and not somebody else. So that's really answers the question. As far as I'm concerned, he'll be alive. It's going to be good. He's going to take us out of Galus. And this is mainly a problem for people who are from. To people who are not from, I could just talk from experience, talking to people on Mitzayim, the whole Yiddishkeit is crazy. This is more crazy than any other part of Yiddishkeit. You actually talk to people and you tell them that Mashiach's coming, or we have Torah mitzvahs, and we do kaparis, and there's a lot of crazy parts of the Yiddishkeit. You're the rabbi. You're telling them your version of the story. And if your version of the story is that the Rebbe is going to be Mashiach and he's going to take us out of Galus, like, that doesn't bother them. They're not, unless they have a preconceived notion. But to anybody who's just doesn't have an opinion, you're telling them about Judaism. I have not found it to be a problem. People are excited. It's good news. Mashiach's coming. That's on whatever level of Yiddishkeit you're holding by. That's good news. I mentioned it before. Like, there used to be, maybe still today, you could tell me, is there still this? Are people scared of Yom Adin? Is that or is that not really a focus?
So, to me at least, it was more like an Elul thing, like a Rosh Hashanah. Kippur is more of a serious time, and we think about I mean, Yom Adin is we're talking about Rosh Hashanah and Kippur is Yom Slichah Kapara, like more like that. You're saying more like the ultimate judgment after
Right, like
120?
this Judgment Day, Mashiach's going to be scary. Is there a concept that Mashiach might be? Is the Mashiach all
I don't.
peaches and roses, or is it also a little bit scary?
I mean, the scary part is Gog and Magog, right? For as long as that is, not everyone's going to survive that, right? So
Right.
that's
About
that's
Gog and Magog, about these things that you're taka correct, that it's all how it's going to work out is taka vague. We don't. The Rambam tells us we don't actually know how this is going to work out. Will there need to be a war? Do we have enough wars already before? Was World War II Gog and Magog? These things are very. The Rambam says it's very difficult to understand the Nevi'im about exactly what's going to happen, and we're only going to find out how it's going to happen when it actually happens. So,
right.
yeah, I could say in Lubavitch, the Rebbe spoke. Yeah, okay, yeah.
No, what were we about to say?
In Lubavitch, the Rebbe spoke like there's so many Mamari Chazal to pick and choose from on this topic that the Rebbe spoke a lot how because of all the things that we've had to endure in Gulas, it's going to be a good Gula. It's going to be whatever the easy Geshmaka way, the fun way, whatever
Interesting.
whatever that way is, that's the one that's going to happen. Or like there's different stages of Mashiach coming. There'll be like one stage where there won't be miracles, and then things progress. The Rebbe says, or it could be if we deserve it and we earn it, then we jump straight ahead, and there will be miracles, And
Hold on. From what I understood, I can't give you a source necessarily. You probably have all the sources because you're busy with this. This is why you cough. But there's going to be so many nisim that it's mamash going to be greater than Yetzias Mitzrayim and Kriyas Yamsuf. I mean to say, I don't think we're going to be necessarily mevatel Pesach and that whole Inyan. Maybe we will. It depends to which sources. But the nisim and the flies that are going to happen when Mashiach comes are going to be like much greater from what I understood.
So the big thing about Mashiach is that he's going to reveal godliness into the world. Like the Rambam says, the pasuk says, and the business, the Esak of the entire world, which includes Goyim, by the way, will only be to know Hashem. That everyone in the world, including Goyim, is going to be busy with the knowledge of Hashem. That's going to be everyone's occupation. Like we said, everyone's physical things are going to be, at least at some stage, taken care of, and everyone's going to realize that it's all.
You say it in Aleinu every day.
Yeah. So, so that's so as far as there's going to be a lot of Gila Lacosta. That's what Mashiach does. He's going to bring down the the third Beis Hamikdash. There's also different opinions. Will it come down already built from Shemayim? Is he going to build it? So it sounds like there's some sort of version of it comes down from Shemayim. Mashiach puts on the doors, or one of these ways to make it work.
According to Freed, all we have to do is bring the house down.
We have to bring 100%. So, by the way, how much credit does Avram Fried and MBD these guys get for raising Mashiach awareness? Hats off to these chavra. Yossi Green.
Also, Yossi Green.
Yossi Green. This is l'chaim to these guys because they really made Mashiach awareness and put it on the table by Gans Klal Yisrael.
100%. Chaim.
So we say, and right, you're correct. It says, "Kol hasheres hasidli batel, all the Yom Tevim are going to be batel asid lavei." It says that the Navi is going to be batel asid lavei, which doesn't mean to be batel. It means in light of the greatness of the what makes a Yom Tov special, what makes a Shabbos a Yom Tov is that there's more godliness that day. When there'll be so much godliness for Vilas Lavei, right? Regular Yom Tov will not be special. That's the chiddush that we say in the Haggadah. There's a machlekes. It says Kol Yemechiyacha. So one says Lahavi Aleilis, and it says then the next opinion says Kol Yemechiyacha Lahavi L'Meis Mashiach. That the Kol Yemechiyacha comes to include that even the L'Meis Mashiach we're still going to be mentioning Zecher L'Tzias Mitzrayim, which is a chiddush because it's not really going to be such a big deal. But because it talks about in Chassidus, that's why we're going to still talk about Tzias Mitzrayim L'Asid Lavei, because it's the one that, even though really it's not going to be so great, it's the one that started it all, and there's still important aspects of Mitzrayim that will be relevant to L'Asid Lavei. But by and large, most Yom Tov will not be relevant to L'Asid Lavei, except for Chanukah and Purim. It says that it says this what's Lashon?
I don't remember, but yeah.
Is something that Purim will will be great. Even Las Lave, Purim will be a big Yom Tov. And we know that all the negative days, all the fast days, all the not good days, they will be transformed. They will be Yom Tov and Las Lave. They have the amazing, even greater potential. So there's going to be even then great day. How did we get started talking about this? Well, we
about the Nisim and the flies when Mashiach comes.
We were discussing the different we were discussing the different stages. How the Rebbe said that it's going to be geschmack, that there will be miracles. That it doesn't necessarily have to happen miraculously, but it will. It's a big question because the Rambam says that there's going to be no miracles. It's just going to be, Shibud Malchus Bavad. They're going to get Mashiach's going to be king, and that's it. The Beis Hamikdash. He says, do not think that Mashiach needs to perform any miracles. He does not. That's why and he brings a proof by Bekiva and Bekaziva. They did not ask Bar Kochva to perform any miracles before Bekiva believed that he was Mashiach. So Mashiach doesn't have to do any miracles. But yet we know that, and he says the wolf will lie with the lamb. Says the Rambam, yeah. That just means nations will be peaceful. It's not literal. It's all, and we'll see all the Nevi'im. It's all allegorical. So he reinterprets everything very woke. It's all going to be, So the Rebbe says, what do you mean? That can't be, because the Rambam says there's going to be Tchias HaMesim, and there could be a bigger miracle than that in Tchias HaMesim. So obviously the Rambam does believe in miracles. So what's going on over here? So he explains in the Sefer Yad, he's describing what is the halachic requirement of what has to happen. But even then, there will be stages of things will progress, and there will then obviously be a Tchias HaMesim. So even according to Rambam, there will be miracles, and even according to Rambam, there could be miracles right away. There doesn't have to be. It's not part of the definition of the job of what Mashiach is. But I think by most, I would imagine everyone pictures there's going to be miracles. Mashiach, the Beis Hamikdash coming down for Shemai. There's going to be Tchias HaMesim. People. It's one big idea of it. It's going to be miraculous. It's going to be a big party, and we already know who the band is going to be playing when Mashiach comes.
The Levium.
It's going to be Yidl mit sein ganze Chavra. What do you mean?
Are you saying AB?
Sure.
Yeah.
No, but you see there, he gives like in the song, like in the picture, and it's like Mashiach's coming, it's totally like everyone's partying it up. It's going to be exciting. It's interesting. That song gives more of a real description of event. I mean, it's not accurate, but more of a real description of events of like what's going to happen. That most of the time we don't really get. It stays in the ether somewhere. Like, oh, Mashiach's going to come. But yeah, it's important, I think, to take time to really actually think about it and learn about it. What's it going to look like? And the reason that's important is, first of all, that brings Mashiach. But the more you learn about it, you think about it, and it becomes a reality for you, the more it becomes important. You say, you know what? Maybe I want to get myself ready. I want to prepare myself I should be ready to greet Mashiach. I'm going to be saying shouldn't have to be embarrassed. I should be proud. I should be saying, oh yeah, I was fighting the good fight. I was doing everything to make you come, and we should be, and it's going to happen whether we like it or not. And when it happens, we should come. We should be able to be proud and say, we did it. We did the best we can.
100%. The Mashkiach of Lakewood, BMG, of Nassim Bachweigel, was very famous for. He had a suitcase packed, ready for Mashiach coming. I'm pretty sure I once heard that on his kids' invitations, Chassan invitations, he wrote, Chassan will Mitzvah be in Yerushalayim or HaKadosh, but if Mashiach doesn't come, it's going to be in whatever, New York, in Lakewood. So there were people.
Chavetz Chaim was very big into Mashiach.
For sure. He was famously known, Rav Nassim Bachweigel, for dancing. He danced to Achakaloi, B'chol Yom Shabbat. I mean, that there are people that mamash live with it. It's not just a Lubavitch thing. That's what I'm trying to bring across over here.
Yeah.
But 100%, I hear you 100%, and we have to cut this by Lubavitchers also about this whole Indian of learning about Mashiach and making it part of your life.
Yes, this is definitely something that everyone needs to be more stuck, to get more involved.
So
in Kachim Mashiach.
Yeah, this is so. What I was saying before about how people perceive Mashiachists about and their understanding, there's been a disservice done to our worldview, and that's really the goal. Another one of the goals of this podcast is to put out what do we really believe, and what do we want? What's our goal?
Aside for waving yellow flags, you said what else is there aside for
correct? No, right. Every movement has to have a goal, has to have a mission statement.
Yellow pens. And now you have shovels.
We do have. I think it's our most viewed episode. What's up with the flag?
Yeah, we spoke about the flag.
I need to get, if one of you could get me, I need a shovel flag.
A shovel pen. I think I might have one somewhere. Yeah, you can get it. It can be acquired. We'll hook it up for you.
So the goal, at least my mission statement is like this: is to give people. No, not ours, but like mine in the sense of with regards to this
podcast, this platform.
Correct. Is like this: is that people should be familiar with the concepts, familiar with all the different ways of understanding, familiar with sources that bring these are Torah sources, right? We have emunas chachamim. We believe these people that they're not just saying things out of whatever. They're not just pulling things out of thin air. Rather, there's a Messiah. They're using the ways of understanding and whatever. They're meaning there is weight to their words. They're not just saying things, but people should be aware. People should be familiar with the different understandings, different ways. Mashiach can be like this, like that, and like the other, in order to familiarize yourself with what's going on. Because like this, what the Rebbe did in the last year and a half of Sichos was basically paint a picture for us. But it was the beginning of the picture because the Rebbe was painting the picture of the Gula. That's what the painting that was being that started. And I believe that the Rebbe was telling us part of open your eyes and see. The Rebbe says how everything is set, the table is set, the Sharabar, the Levyasan, and you're sitting at the table with Mashiach Tzidkenu. The only problem is that your eyes are closed to that, and you have to open your eyes. So there's different ways of understanding it. There's many speeches, many articles written on it. But my understanding is like this. Very simple. The world is ready. The world is already, like Simcha likes to say, Gula is downloaded into the world in a zip file. Right? Simcha like to say that.
I do like to say that.
But
we need to extract
yeah, correct. You have to extract it. It goes even further.
For the techie folk.
This is something that came into my mind a few days ago that I want to flesh out a little more. It was a flash of chachma, but that when the Rebbe said that, he wasn't just saying that a nice thing that gets so close. Look how close it is that it's here. That it's shining already. That's how close it is. No. It's already here, and you see it, and you have a good question. The question is like, well, I don't know. Look around. You have people being killed. You have the woke mob is taking over the institutions. You had mass inflation. COVID was terrible. All these things are so really really bad.
It's all going to be great.
How is it possible? How's
January
it true?
20th, Chav Tevis. It's all going to be fantastic.
No, but what's the Vart? 4 days, counting down. What's the Vart? The Vart is like this. The Vart is that we see, like feminism, for example. Feminism is Gula energy,
misguided Gula energy.
Misguided Gula energy.
That's in the world.
I wanted to do this. I want to do this and go through things that are happening in the world and show things that seemingly are destructive and are bad in the world, and show how really this is Geula, but it's misguided. And basically what I'm trying the point that I'm trying to make is twofold. Number one, how gishmak it is that everything that is happening is not that Mashiach is all really really close. I mean, not in the sense of these are already things of the Geula. We had the past few episodes we're talking about world events that are happening, and pointing to how this is connected to the Gula, meaning this is not something that is a prophecy that is about that shows how close it is. Rather, this is an event of Gula. For example, the 10 Makkos were not things that showing how close we are to being redeemed. Rather, it was part of the redemption process.
Right. So
that's number one.
In today's, I can just explain. Today's Chumash, B'chatz Chamishi of Parshas Shmos, Hashem is talking to Moshe and convincing him to go and take the Yidden Mitzrayim. And anything that happens after Moshe finally acquiesces after a week and says, "Fine, I'll do it. I'll take the Yidden out of Mitzrayim. I'll accept the mission from Hashem." From that point till like 11 months later, whenever it was, till he actually left Mitzrayim on Pesach, all of the event, and first, right afterwards, he went to Paris, let people go, and things got even worse for the Yidden. And everyone was complaining, and they didn't believe him. They believed, but they weren't happy with him. And then things started, and they were still slaves. And then they started the Makkos. Right, that was part of the Gula process. Everything that happened then, the good, the bad, and the ugly, was part of the redemptive process that was already taking place. The Gadol was on the scene. Mashiach, so to speak, was there already. They didn't leave Galus yet. So I think that's what's we have to realize. That's the reality, the time period that I believe we believe that we're in right now, where so to speak, Mashiach's already here. He's on the scene and he's doing things in the world, and the Gula is unfolding, and it's our job to realize that. Hashem told
right.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing. The second thing that is very important, and why I want to go into all the Geula things that are misguided, is because I want to show people how you can't sitting back and doing nothing and just waiting for the thing to happen is there's no such thing as the world is just in limbo. The world is changing. You see it. The world is changing around you. I had this it wasn't a personal one, Baruch Hashem, but it was a sort of like a recognition of someone that I know close. A tragedy happened to him, and for him the world stopped. But for everybody else, literally everybody else, the world continues. And even for that person, the world technically continues. And if he decides to not be to not get out of what stopped his world, it'll become very damaging to the person, right? Chas v'shalom, if someone that is close to a person passes away, you sit shiva for 7 days, and taka, they give you some leeway if you have a job, right? They'll let you grieve, they let you do things, but at some point you have to come back and work, or else everything is just then what's the point? My point is that's the same thing over here. We can't just, Gimel Tammuz happened and we traumatized, so we'll just sit and we'll just, we'll sit with our arms, with our head between our legs, and just, we'll just close our eyes and we'll just keep going and do what the Rebbe said to do in Tavshin Mem and Tavshin Lamed and Tavshin Nun and all these things. You can't, because the world continues. The Geula is still unfolding in front of you. We have to be participating. We have to take our heads out of the sand. We have to take our heads away from our knees. We have to get back into the world, and we have to do it. We have to change we have to be megala how it is geula, and we have to guide it back to kedusha and to that. And I think that is how we're going to get to the next stage, which is the ultimate stage, which is the Yitzias Mitzrayim, the Yitzia from Golos, and it should happen. Take it from Yad Mamash.
Amen.
My point is not that this is the end of the episode.
I don't know if that's how you want to end. No, but
No. That was
Brother, you'll tell me when you want to end. But I'm enjoying so far. The reason why this is foreign.
Well, my battery's at 16%, so whatever.
Get a charger.
Anyways, yeah.
Now, the reason why this is foreign to me and to other parts of Klal Yisrael is that every other part of Klal Yisrael, you have a Gadol, you have a Tzaddik, you have a Shiva. Okay. You have a Shiva, you have a Gadol Adar, he's Nifter, and somebody takes over for him. Either it's a son or it's a Talmud, right? Meaning, in any Hasidus, okay, not every, because not wrestling. They stop by Rebbe Nachman, but in Satmar and Bells and Babov, right, you have a Rebbe, the Rebbe's Nifter, his son or his nephew or somebody else takes over, and there's a continuation to the leadership. In Lubavitch, even though the Rebbe's not here physically, okay, the leadership continues. I mean, you call him the Nasi Adar. To us, it's a foreign concept because once somebody passes on, we move on to somebody who's alive. Meaning, when Chaim Kanievsky was alive, to us, he wasn't just a Tam Chacham, he was a Malch. He was like he was a Baba. I don't know what you want to call him, but he's somebody that was like tapped into to Torah on the highest level. And when he was Nifter, we moved on to there's other tzaddikim, you have what I'm trying to bring out?
Yeah. That there's a continuation, there's a continuum to the whole thing, and
Right.
Chabad lacks that. What's the
What's interesting to me also is that even though you have Mashpiyim and Shashivas and Tamei Chachamim and Lubavitch, they're all like machnia themselves to the das of the Rebbe and what he would have said, what he would have done. I mean, there isn't this focus. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. There were Pashava people like Rav Yael Khan and other people that were considered big people in Lubavitch, and they're not looked up to the same way, the same statures as if they would be part of a different part of the classroom. What's the pshat? You got what I'm saying with that?
Yeah. That's definitely true, and I think it goes back to my definition of a Lubavitcher.
Meaning, hold on, the Rosh, right? The Rosh is somebody who's huge. For those who don't know, he's the Rashiva of Aral Chanan in LA, Rabbi Shochet, right?
our favorite Rosh Hashiva.
When he goes to Eretz Yisrael, that you see pictures of him going to visit all the Litvish Gedalim, sitting and learning by Brisker, Rashivas, and other Gedalim, and he's Ba'atzim on that stature, on that level, but I don't think he gets that Chashivas and Lubavitch. Correct me if I'm wrong.
He does not. No. Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
I don't. Is that Simcha? Is that a Mila or is that a big Kasaran?
Is it a Mila? Whatever. I'm not getting into it. But not him personally. Talk to me after class if you want to know. But I'll talk about
Did you both learn in Arachanat?
I learned in Arachanat. I know the Rosh very, very well.
Yeah, we were both in Aral Chanan for Mesifta and Zal, and we were both Gabayim in the Rosh's show. So
That's saying you did your time.
yeah, we both had our I mean, Simcha had more because he was more confrontational. I wasn't so confrontational, but I had my fair share of interactions with the Rosh.
Okay, so it's not necessarily that I'm asking, I'm just expressing that this whole opinion of that the Rebbe was alive and he was nifter, Gimel Tammuz happened, and Lubavitch was still continuing in flourishing without him physically here, and by us, when somebody's nifter, we move on to, I mean, Rabban Leib Steinman was the Gadol Dar, he was nifter, and there's Rav Gershon Alshkin, he was nifter, there's other Gedalim and Tzadikim, and people that would go to ask Eitzis and get brachas, like, it's different. It's different to open
Right,
an ignorance and get an answer.
It's different. I'll tell you like this. A key factor that I think it's important, I don't know, I was off for a few minutes here, but for people to appreciate from why the Lubavitch works the way it does. I don't know how we look at Moshe Rabbeinu. I don't know how the rest of the class looks at Moshe Rabbeinu. But Moshe Rabbeinu is literally was on the mountain 40 days talking to God face to face. There was never a Navi like Moshe Rabbeinu. There never will be a Navi like Moshe Rabbeinu, even Mashiach. He'll be the Rambam says he'll be smarter than Shlomo. He'll be a Navi close to Moshe Rabbeinu. Every classic Lubavitcher puts Moshe Rabbeinu and the Rebbe, same thing, same level.
Right, so to us, that's crazy.
Right, so that's crazy. That's insane. But that's right. So because
meaning even to put the Rebbe on the level of the Baal Shem Tov to me is crazy. Meaning, I'm not Chassidish. I'm a snag. I'm a misnagid. To me, the Baal Shem Tov was anyone who lived 300 years ago, 400 years ago.
Right.
We can't.
Different.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, go on.
Yuridas Hadairis is obviously a real thing, but The fact is that for whatever reason, Lubavitchers are convinced that the Rebbe is lo pachut at least Mimei Rabbeinu. And some are convinced that he'll teach Torah to Moshe Rabbeinu because he'll be Mashiach. So,
but the Rebbe didn't speak. The Rebbe didn't speak to Hashem panim al panim, 40 days. That we know of.
Right. So I'm saying I believe that nobody's on the level of Nevi'as like Moshe Rabbeinu, but like it says, but yet it says Mashiach he'll be the closest. He'll be the one who's the very close, very close. Technically, Moshe will have the edge in Nevi'as, but Mashiach is right up there. Right. The Zohar explains that in every generation there is somebody who has the neshama of Moshe Rabbeinu. It's literally the same neshama. And that's what it means when we say Nasi Adar. He's the one who is. All the Jewish people have one body. We're all the body of Adam Rishon. It's not the body of Adam. Body of Adam. Anyways, so. And the Chachamim in each generation, they're called the Enia Eda. They're the mind and hearts of the Yidden. And that's why there's a mitzvah to connect to the Eibishter. You do it through Shulchan Aruch, through connecting with Talmidei Chachamim and the Gadol of a generation. That's literally a mitzvah. But more particularly, there's one, that Isaiah tells us, one particular person who has the actual neshama of Moshe Rabbeinu. And he is the mind and heart of the Jewish people. And in some generations, it was less obvious and less revealed how this person is the Moshe of that generation. And some generations, this person was like, talks about Mordechai. It says Mordechai in his generation, the Medrash tells us, was like Moshe in his generation. Because it was very clear that he was the leader. That he literally did the job of Moshe Rabbeinu in his generation. He took care of the Jewish people, physically, spiritually. He was the man.
It's very interesting that even though we know that to be true nowadays, B'Shas Maisa, it wasn't so clear.
But it was clear that he was the leader. There was Eisvarts who didn't listen.
Right.
But he was.
It wasn't like he's the on what's the word?
People didn't listen to Moshe either. I'm saying whatever.
Undisputed leader, right?
People also didn't listen to Moshe. It was Moshe was disputed, but he was still Moshe Rabbeinu.
Okay,
so in our generation, we're saying it's like more revealed than it's ever been to any other generation. That the Rebbe is the Moshe Rabbeinu of our generation.
Why are you saying that though? Meaning to say, could you imagine people who lived in the time of, I don't know, throw out Rabbi Yonasan Eibschitz or I don't know, just throw any name out from Jewish history and be like, he's the guy. He's the one that Mamash, he's like the Neshama of Moshe Rabbeinu.
So we believe that it's all from the Baal Shem Tov, the Magid, and then the Chabad Rebbeim, and beyond that, it's, so to speak, it's the famous people. It's the people you'd think. You know what I'm saying? It's the Arizal. Right. The Moshe not right. Not correct. Not the Moshe of his generation.
Rabbi Kadesh.
Just because he just wasn't. I don't know. I don't tell you. Only because we know who was. I'm saying not because he's not a massive tzaddik.
So who was?
It was the Baal Shem Tov. Then it was the Magid. Then it went to the Alter Rebbe.
You're saying everybody else was just happened to be along for the ride, but they weren't.
Everybody else, right? We believe that
there's a hierarchy. There's a hierarchy in Yiddishkeit. There's a hierarchy.
The was the Einikel of Baal Shem Tov physically, but the Alter Rebbe was the spiritual Einikel. He was the real Yerush of the dynasty.
I can't argue because I don't know that history. Like I'm not.
Okay, there's a spiritual history a little bit. So yeah, this is what we believe. So with that perspective, though, just get back to the point. If the Rebbe is literally Moshe Rabbeinu, then and the whole job here, there's a famous sikha that is not focused on nearly enough. Sheftim, Tafshin and Aleph, the Rebbe Farbrengen. It's the Rebbe edited the sikha. The Rebbe tells everyone that Nevuah never really left Klal Yisrael. Meaning, Nevuah left in the sense that there was nobody who was zeichet to be a Navi, and there was a period when there was a lot of Nevi'im, but we don't have that because people are less holy. But the Rambam's halachas and definitions about who could be a Navi never became obsolete. They're still technically true. And the Rambam tells us that Nevuah will return to the Yidden close to the time of Mashiach, and specifically by Mashiach himself. And the Rebbe went on to say that that his father-in-law was a Navi, and really all the Chabad Rebbeim, and particularly the Talmidim of his father-in-law after him in this generation is, referring to himself obviously, that he's a Navi, and that he's saying as a Nevuah, he nizeh Mashiach ba, Mashiach is coming, and la'alta legula, we're going to have immediate redemption. And then he gave the instructions to tell everybody who you possibly can that everyone should listen to the Rebbe in all it matters, and physically, spiritually, that everyone should turn to the Rebbe as the Navi, the Shefet, and the Yoyet, the advisor and the judge of our generation. So the Rebbe is literally telling everyone, yes, everyone should listen to, it's important as a preparation for, we say, that we're going to have to be returned, the judges and Yoyetzim are going to return the way it was. So the Rebbe was saying, we have to live that way now, and the way we do that this will hasten the coming of Mashiach, is to already now listening to the Navi Shefet, the Yoretz of our generation. So here the Rebbe is saying straight up, tell everyone that everyone should listen to the Rebbe. It's very important that everyone follow him, that he's the leader of everybody. And this is edited from the Rebbe. It's not talked about so often, but you could see the underpinnings of that, whether it's spoken about directly or not. This is the vibe you get by Lubavitchers. So everybody else is like you're saying, they're all great chevra, but it's not even close. It's not even. So I don't know if it's good or bad, but we kind of judge everyone with, are you helping people connect to the Rebbe, or are you, or are you not? Because that's really what it's about.
You should never judge anyone.
No, I don't mean judge we're always judging. I mean, we're always assessing people. We don't pass judgment on them if they're good or bad people. I mean, as far as relevant, am I going to listen to what you have to say? Am I going to consider you somebody who influences my way of thinking? Am I going to take your advice? So the more somebody is in tune to Lubavitcher with what we think that Rebbe wants, so then we're on the same team here. You're helping out. I don't know what's the right way to say it. Those are the people Lubavitchers respect more. And even then, when we say respect, we respect you because you're closer to the Kavan, you're closer to the mission, you're closer to the Rebbe. And we're all kind of in this together to bring Mashiach. And it's not so much about any individual person. Okay, you're great, so what? Like, it's not about your greatness is that you're helping further the mission. Nobody becomes your own Matthias, because that breaks my definition of a Lubavitcher. If there's another, there can only be one ultimate person that everyone's following. It's a kind of a funny dynamic, I suppose, but
it's definitely not my flavor, not my type of Yiddishkeit, which I tell you. Meaning, yeah, I understand it. I understand what you're telling me. I don't connect to it because it's just not the way I was raised, right? People change, for sure. People change, but for the most part, people just do what they were raised, what they're used to from their house. So
correct.
I understand you because that's how you were raised. That's what, even though you're saying that you got more open to the whole idea of Mashiach energy came later. That's what Levi was saying. But
no, I was saying exactly what you're saying. The only thing is that there's a certain point in your life when you make it personal, when it's yours. However you were raised becomes not only because this is what my tati told me, but it's because now it's mine. Now it's mine.
There's the God is your father, and then there's when it's Zekeli and you make it yours.
I once heard that somebody, one of these like Chumash books, this guy was very busy that like children till the age of 20, 21 are not even from, meaning you only become from when you start like actually like internalizing what you were raised with, meaning you go through the system, yeshiva and everything, but Lamaisa, are you doing it because you want to, or are you doing it because that's what everyone's doing and your parents are doing it and your friends and your siblings? You're not like this whole concept of like off the derech, on the derech. He's like, no one's on the derech till you actually use your brain to like want to be on the derech. Anyway, it's just an interesting side point.
It's a good side point.
Also, another side point, I went to Shiv Gadol in LA, and my 10th grade Rebbe was Rabbi Grumman, David Grumman. So his father was Pinchas Grumman. I never actually saw it, but I heard that in his house, he had 3 big pictures, or maybe they were on like some kind of like boat type of thing. And he had, I don't know what specific order, but he had Rabbi Aaron Cutler, who was Miyasid Lakewood, right? The whole Torah movement of Lakewood.
Ira
and he
Torah.
had Ira Torah, Bachsidis. He had Rabbi Teitelbaum, who
Satmar.
brought Satmar, and he had the Lubavitch Rebbe. Meaning those three he considered like the builders of Torah and Chassidus after the war. Just a very interesting.
I had such a machshava zar just now. I don't know if I should say it.
But
gonna say it,
Pasha
but I'm gonna-
Tegashmius, though, that's true. I'm saying that's
One
like
second.
you could argue better or worse for better or worse, but that they Pasha did it. That's true. That's accurate. It's
No,
yeah.
so
Don't talk about it.
from my perspective, I'm not Satmar, not Lubavitch, but I could appreciate the contribution that they gave to the class. So I appreciate where Moshe Feinstein was the Pesach Adar and Yitzchak Kutner, different people that added tremendous amount of Yiddishkeit and Torah and just avoida into American shores. Now, by you, it's the Rebbe and then everyone else. By me, I can understand that there's other, right? There's other Tzadikim and Gadolim and Rosh Hashivas and Rebbes. I mean, the Baba Rebbe, for example, Shlomo Baba, he was huge, right?
Sure.
You're going to say, but he wasn't an Nasi Adar. I hear it. Anyways, so yeah.
No, it's definitely true. We still, I can talk for myself. I still respect people. Like you're saying, I respect them for their contributions and what they were and what they did.
Give me names of people that you're like, wow, he mamish did something amazing for college. So someone not in Lubavitch.
Somebody being put on the spot.
What did you say?
You're putting him on the spot.
I respect some of the. I respect some of the people. I respect some of the people you mentioned. No, so all these people. Okay, I'll tell you this. Anybody who snubbed or the Rebbe or had too much to do with people who did, it's very difficult for me to respect them, as you can imagine.
I hear it.
So that leaves the people who were on friendly terms with the Rebbe. So people like
I specifically did mention. I didn't mention Rav Shach or Svei or people that would trigger you. I was giving you people.
I don't think Rav Aaron is triggering. Anyways, but
a little bit. Okay.
Anyways, but no, I will not argue with Rav Aaron's contribution to building up Torah after in America that's what I'm talking about.
And in Lakewood today, in Rebbe's Lakewood,
correct.
There's a big Lubavitch.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say
but people like Rabbi Feinstein is very well respected in Chabad. Even Rav Hutner, that I've corresponded to them like about Mr. Tefillin. We disagree with it, but like these are people who are I don't know who people who know at least are respected. Chaim Kanievsky, people respect him that he's somebody who's had to learn Torah. People can respect that. I just saw. There was a talking. I was talking to you about that? Oh yeah, that thing about the Eliashiv, that sefer. No, it was just.
Yeah. What you're saying about finding out that somebody was nifter and he had other sperm?
No. I just saw you saw Ganzweig posted on a status that the Eliashiv.
Oh yes. About learning, about sleeping and eating.
About eating and sleeping, and he also said that he never, for 1 second, was two things. I looked up the Mucker, the source material, and I saw two things about what's Yeshiva Mucker, two quotes from Eliashiv. One, that he never missed a meal and never missed a night's sleep, because it would take away from his learning if he's not up to par, and obviously never missed a Seder. Another thing is he was never a Messiah Das from Torah for like 1 second or something. That's amazing. That's Gamaldik. That's like
So I'm going to tell you an incredible story about Rav Eliashiv. They say about him that he really appreciated music and chazanas. And at some point, Osniel Rozen had a concert in Yerushalayim, and he closed his Gemara. He started going. I don't know if he was a bacher or was ready getting Gaman. He started walking. As he's walking, he made a cheshbon of how many block Gemara he would be missing if he would go to the concert. He turned around, went back to the base measures, opened the Gemara, and didn't go because he couldn't. Wow. He couldn't imagine missing that. And for the rest of his life, I don't know if he had corrupt that he missed the concert, but he had a few
I I probably wouldn't have missed the concert. I wouldn't
You
have missed the
wouldn't. I
concert.
also wouldn't. I'm not on that level. I'm just saying, Rabbi Yashiv, if you watch videos of him learning, he had like an imus. He would like sing like late at night, 2 or 3 in the morning. He would sit over his Gemara and he had like a certain niggin that he sang. Like there's some there's some real Talmidei Chacham Tzadikim out of Lubavitch that to me, they're just mind blowing. And then once and if they're, that's it.
Yeah,
Like,
it's true. Maybe I'll add a little bit more perspective. I'm thinking now why that is. The previous generations, we had a lot of great people. And great doesn't mean good, by the way. You had, I know, I'll tell you what Avart Rosh likes to say. Abishach have to mention before. You think Yitzhak cares about your Avedas? You had big fish like Yerov Medavat. You had Menashe. You had people who had they were great at doing Avedas. They were great people. You know, the Yitzhak just wants to get you depressed and not do mitzvahs. That's the only reason. He doesn't need your Avedas. He wants to get you depressed and down.
by the way, Lahavdil Elfad Dulles, Mr. Trump is very busy with making America great again. He's the greatest president, 100%.
Yeah.
But Lamaisa, he's a grubba guy. Like you have to hop onto that. Like as much as he's getting Mamash J20 is coming, we're so excited. Lamaisa, he doesn't reach the toenails of any cheder you can go learning olive base and sukkim and chumash. You know?
Yeah. Was it Reagan? Was it Reagan? One of the presidents called wanted to wish the Rebbe happy birthday, and it was like I'm not gonna spend time on my birthday. I could be dealing with you and talking to like a guy. Like
I think it was Reagan. Yeah,
it was Reagan. Like as much as Reagan is all like whatever, it's like fine. I'll answer back a letter. My secretary write him a letter, whatever it is. But like I'm not the spall. You're a guy. I remember hearing a sicha once. The Rebbe was discussing how little you should care about like the opinion of a guy. The Rebbe was trying to explain that how stupid guyim are. The Rebbe was disgusted. He says they go hunting. They go kill an animal for no reason. Like they're such, and then it was like saying how horrible like hunting is. They're just l'shem Indian. Like I don't know what the politics was at the time. That was like, and you're trying to impress and care a person who goes hunting, like such a person who's such a depraved individual, and this is the person you care about oppressing. You care about their opinion. I don't know what it was about. It was a particular thing. It was like yeah, you have to say like a yid is it a shama? It's a kid, correct. It's not even nothing I want to talk about. But previous generation, like I was saying, they were great people. Both Atana and Amiris, is the small to them can be Mechayim Mason. We don't even know what that means. Like it's not even a the whole yesod of the way we learn Torah is we assume that anything written down in Gemara, like the Rishonim, they knew everything. They didn't make mistakes. They were perfect. We're dealing with levels of perfection and holiness and greatness that are and bekias and brilliance that are unimaginable. Today, in our generation, it's the generation of Maisa, where action. You have the higher thick parts of the body, where what's called Ikvased Mashiach, the heels of Mashiach. But also generation, the Yisraelis, we're the lowest generation. We can aspire, but we cannot, for most of us, it doesn't seem very practical to achieve any of these great things in the same way that the same type of greatness that you had in previous generations. It says there was a Yidden used to be Getzaras because they were shaykh to it. They were so holy, they were so spiritual, they were so in tune to that higher spiritual frequency that it's a Tzedach Shnahara, they got Tzaras. It showed up. We're like a bunch of homeless people in the streets. We have all the antibodies. We don't get sick from nothing. We're not in tune to the spiritual thing. There's no Chi of Misa today. The Bezdin's not killing anybody. We can't be held accountable. You had Gula then, and they still did Avedas. It was a different Yitzhara, a different set of circumstances. So today it's more about the Maisa. It's practical. It's the Maisa We'ikr. So in Lubavitch, we're very mission oriented. There's a mission. We're doing it. We're going on shlichus. We're bringing Mashiach, and it's like, are you with us or against us? Are you helping us? Good. We like you. Are you like? I don't care if you're great or not. Like it's not against so much. Like there were times when that was more important, and that's what makes sense in the Olam HaTorah where it's less mission focused, more like we're just living it. We're doing Torah mitzvahs.
I'm saying we're busy with Shar Shana Zapara. There's no bulls and cows over here. Like, but it's we're learning, like you're saying, that the town is on the Myers. That's what we live, right? So we learn. We're very busy with it, right?
Every morning, I think at least 5 minutes about the Yishlem Das.
No, I'm saying, but it's Torah.
But yeah, no, it's correct. And it's not like in Lubavitch also everyone's learning Gemara and it's not like it's not like we don't learn it. We're learning. It's very funny when I get together with my not Lubavitch cousins. They talk and learning. It's like learning the same Gemara, the same Shulchan Aruch, the same Rambam, the same it's the same Yiddishkeit. You know what I'm saying?
It's similar Yiddishkeit.
Similar. It's close.
It depends how. No, it's how you translate it. How you touch up the.
No, but like but the learning Gemara is the same learning Gemara. You know, it's the same. You might say what's the kavana, the nation, but the actual Gemara, it's the same Gemara.
I mean, I don't know where you're going with this, but like a positive thing that I want to bring out in today's generation is that thanks to everybody living in America and social media, meaning the good things that came out of it is that we're sitting here, right? Two Lubavitchers are sitting with a Litvak and having open conversation that you wouldn't necessarily have 20, 30 years ago because we were mamish living in different places, we wouldn't have any shaykhs to each other. The fact that we're able to have a discussion and shmooze a druchta and yanim and bring out different things it's an incredible thing. And just in general also is that, like you're saying, in Lubavitch, they learn Gemara and Shulchan Aruch. In every part of Yiddishkeit, I feel like everyone's noshing from everyone. Like, you have no idea how many, like, on a nightly basis on Lakewood, there'll be Farbrengen and a Kumzitz and this speaker comes to speak, like, and then in Satmar or Baba, whatever, they're busy also with like learning and Skvar. They have a big focus on Gemara. Not that they're not busy with Chassidus and Tefillah and things that they were much busier, 100, 200 years ago. But I feel like everybody's doing a little bit from other people also, which is it's amazing.
That's definitely true. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, but just to finish off my thoughts, right? So we're the generation of action, whereas I'm not saying for better or worse, we're saying in the literature Torah world, but so-called I'm saying the Torah, where that's the main focus. It makes sense that there's more focus. People who are great in Torah that they're very well respected in Chashuv, and that's very important. It's not that we don't respect Torah; it's that because we're so much more mission focused. What we consider to be great people are people who are more furthering the mission. That's what makes you great.
Interesting, I hear.
It's like you could be a massive Talmud Chacham, and I'm very happy for you. But
that doesn't make the person himself great.
It means you're great. It's just that we don't. We're not going to care so much. Like it doesn't. Like okay.
I hear.
The Lubavitch is what should I do with it? Like.
Yeah, no, I'm saying for us, the idea is somebody who's. I was talking to my father yesterday. It's very interesting that in your average Chassidus is somebody's a Rebbe's nifter, somebody can take over. He could be 35, 40 years old, and he leads a whole crowd. And by us, you'll only start hearing about the Gadol when he's already 85, 90 years old. That's like his prime time to shine. It's because we're looking up and respecting different things, right? They're busy with Banan Shokadeshim, his father's a Rebbe and a Tzaddik, so he is. And we're busy with, somebody who sat and learned for 70, 80 years. He's someone that we look up to respect. So I hear in Lubavitch would be more, like you're saying, furthering the mission of the Rebbe.
So even then, it's not so much that we respect them for their own mitzvahs. It's that they're respected insofar as he's a big mashpia. I mean, he's good at inspiring people to do the right thing and teaching Chassidus. It's a different.
I hear.
And within the annals of Chabad, history itself, this changed. If you go back to previous generations in Chabad, there was great Chassidim. I'm talking big Tzadikim, Chassidim of the Rebbe. These were giants of Talmidei Chacham. No, even a Medal Futterfass, he's a great guy, but he's more of a Derek Shvi type of guy. I'm talking about Alter Rebbe's Chassidim. I'm talking literal, like full-on Tzadikim.
What about the Rogachover? He was Lubavitch, no?
Rogachover is very well respected in Chabad.
I'm saying, he was a Lubavitcher?
He was kind of a Lubavitcher.
Ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, even in Lubavitch, there was more of a focus on him, on people's own avodah. The Rebbe was there to help you do your own avodah. You should become an Avodah Hashem. You should have Av and Yira, and that's still important. And there were people who excelled in that tremendously and reached tremendous levels of holiness, serving Hashem. And I guess those people were more respected. They were the Gadolim by the Chassidim. And there was a much more focus on Chassidim. And there was the Rebbe, but there was also Chassidim. That was very important. In our orphaned generation, there's less of a focus on, some people are trying to change it, but there's less of a focus on Chassidim. It's very much Rebbe-centered. And it's, like I say, it's about the mission. It's not so much about the individual people. And even insofar as your own avodah is very important, which it is, it's important because you being an Eved Hashem furthers the mission and helps bring the Gula. And it's all part of that. And yeah, so hopefully we'll finish the mission. We finished the mission, but we should be zeicher for whatever reason it is that we don't have the Gula. We don't know. We should see the Gula mitzvah shlema. We should continue Farbrengen Yerushalayim HaKodesh.
Amen.
Amen.
Agrozen Yeshikoyach Osniel for joining us, for being the Nachshon Ben Aminadav and Mirta Shem. After this, we'll have tons of other literatures that are going to be lining up to come onto the podcast and to let us know their thoughts.
Where can people find you, Osniel? Where can people?
So I have OR Media, which the island knows about that. Whoever knows. There's also Tachlis Daily, tachlisdaily.com. And yeah.
The links will be posted in the description below.
I will say, by the way, just to wrap it up, is that Simcha grew up down the block from me in LA, and I never knew him. And now you live across the street from my parents. And it's just interesting how, like, the world evolved. And Taku should be zeicha to the binyan by Sashishi with Mashiach and Meir Reino.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
ועד כדי כך המדב גולהום עד העם זול מחי זין ישי המלך.